All right. So then we come back to income. We talked about great ways to save, but now let's talk about how you could increase that cap for your budget. And so a really great way to do so as a student is to look for on-campus jobs. Large universities like Oregon State, PSU, U of O, they have a large variety of opportunities for students to work on campus. And it's a great way for students to get their foot in the door into a certain career path if they're interested in culinary, if they're interested in recreation, if they're interested in office administration. There's a lot of entry-level job opportunities that are really safe for students to grow and make mistakes. If they're going to make mistakes, that's a great opportunity to make them and learn from them at a low stakes environment. And a really good perk of working on campus is also that usually the people you're working with are very understanding of students' schedule, and they're typically pretty flexible to work around student schedules. I see we might have something in the chat. Okay. Okay, and the other thing is scholarships. Students can apply for scholarships every year. So students sometimes think that they can only apply for scholarships as they come into college, but that's not actually true. There's a cycle that repeats every year, and every fall is the kickoff to a new cycle for scholarships. And so a student can really keep their eye out for those and continue to try applying, whether it be through OSAC, institutional scholarships through their college, or private scholarships. Every year is a new opportunity to continue applying for those scholarships. The other thing is self-start entrepreneurship, and that could mean starting your own small business or just going out and finding things that you can do to bring an income for yourself. That it pretty much goes right in hand with the next thing on there, which is side jobs, weekend gigs, tutoring, babysitting, food delivery, yard work. Lindsay and I were talking as we were preparing it for this presentation about how really there's a lot of people who will go out and build work for themselves for an income just by finding a need in their community and trying to serve that need and just kickstarting something for themselves to create an income for themselves. I will say as a fun fact, just because I'm learning more and more about this, my younger brother is actually currently unemployed and live with my parents. But as a source of income, he was just telling me a couple of days ago how he, during this, the COVID time, he started having a friendly competition with one of his friends on working through like Uber Eats and Instacart. And he was telling me he's averaging over $24 an hour just from working on food delivery. So he'll go pick up someone's grocery order and deliver that to their door, or even fast food. He said there's a lot of orders just for fast food and just deliver it to someone's door. And just with that alone, he's been able to make a pretty good income for a job that doesn't require a lot of skill. I mean, you just pick something up and deliver it. And he was telling me his friend is actually on track to reach about $8,000 for the month. So needless to say, his friend is beating my brother by a long shot, but it was like a thing he's documenting on TikTok. So it goes to show that there's so many different creative ways that students can really create an income for themselves on their own time.
Okay. So fixed versus variable income. My favorite actually to play around with is the variable income. Fixed is going to be your scholarships. It's going to be any kind of pledge support from mom and dad that's going to be coming in at a consistent basis. It's going to be more so like a campus-based job where you have a set amount of hours that are going to be allocated to you and that you can depend on, that are always going to be there. You know, and then you'll have your variable income, and that's going to be what we were talking about a little bit before about what can you do to add to that fixed income. You already have your fixed expenses, you have your fixed income. There's a clash in the middle, and you're going to need to make a little bit more money on those side hustles. That variable income is really your playground, and that's where you're going to be able to do things such like Jose was talking about, get into the food delivery business on the side. You can do that during different hours in the afternoon after school or on weekends. Another thing I'll tell you is, as a mother of a young son that's in elementary school, never ever waste a crisis. There is going to be a lot of families this fall that will pay you really, really good money if you can help their son or daughter with some math homework in the evenings as they start navigating this new dual hybrid in-person online sort of world for their kids of schooling when elementary school and middle school starts back up again this fall, even high school. Families are going to be looking for students such as yourselves that might be able to step in and fill that need as they're trying to work and balance home and work themselves. They're going to be willing to pay good money for you to come in and help their children with some little extra tutoring, or just as an accountability partner to sit with the kids and make sure that work one-on-one with them remotely to make sure they get their homework done. It's going to be a huge, huge opportunity for you to keep on your horizons. But you really want to be able to identify your fixed income versus your fixed expenses. Those are the things. Fixed means it doesn't change very much. It's pretty steady Eddie. Your variable is going to be your variable income, your variable expenses. Those are the ones that can go up and down. Those are the ones that you need to really focus and have a plan on for what direction you want them to go. You want to be your variable expenses to push way down. You want your variable income to go way up. And that gives you a lot more freedom and a lot more, a lot more fun. If you can get those two, your expenses down, your income up, you have a lot more opportunity for yourself. From the college perspective there, or university perspective, Jose, do you have something you want to add?
No, from the university perspective, it's if you have an on-campus job, typically you have a fixed income unless your hours may vary. So if you have a part-time job as a student, if for some reason your hours vary from week to week, then that might be considered a variable income. But typically they're pretty fixed. It's something you can count on. Yeah, so that tends to be the majority of on-campus jobs.